when we were actually discussing the examples of Apple and other players in the US who have implemented this solution, I think there it's more like an enhancement to, to service your existing business or to enhance your sales. In India, we see that as a need to do it because of the do-it-yourself, not present in our culture as of today. So let's look at some of the use cases, how other people are using it, and see how e-commerce is actually changing lives. Now, we cannot even call it a concept because it's already implemented, although it's not implemented by, it's still in the initial stages, but the response is overwhelming. So we would like to actually discuss a few of the cases and how it is actually being used. So let's come to the first one.
I'll click. Sorry.
Yeah. Digital franchisee. So that's actually been the talk of the day today. We've been discussing it. You guys must have seen it in the news. What exactly is Big Bazaar Direct for those of you who do not know? Big Bazaar is actually gone ahead and franchised their largest retail format, which is Big Bazaar. So any candidate or any applicant interested in becoming a franchisee can pay an upfront amount of 3 lakh rupees and sign up as a franchisee. Once you do that, you have 1 lakh of that is your prepaid amount using which you can start booking orders for your franchisees. And they're doing it in a very smart, clever manner. They're actually arranging for their trainings, their inauguration, their opening. And we had like a lot of unknowns, right? So while this all looks good on paper and looks good as an idea to present, we actually wanted to see how it feels when you go on the field, right, in reality. So when we actually did the pilot, when the Big Bazaar team did the pilot in Vidarbha, Nagpur, the response was great, was overwhelming. And that's where there was some very interesting learnings for us, right? People in the tier 2 and tier 3 cities are actually excited to use technology to shop, right? Because they probably do not own a tablet. So when they actually go to the store, they're used to shopping. And so when you actually go shopping in a mall versus you shopping for groceries, the experience is completely different. You do not enjoy the latter part, right? So you enjoy actually shopping for clothes and apparels and watches because the experience is different. So we've seen that, which was an unknown factor for us. People actually are enjoying this experience. They want to actually fidget around with the tablet and see if they can play around with it and actually transact using that tablet. Besides, the trust is always there because he has that Kirana store. So if anything goes wrong, he has one neck to catch hold of, and he can actually ask him the status of his items, and there's someone to comfort him. So the model is pretty simple. You sign up as a franchisee, and you can start booking orders on behalf of the consumer, and then Big Bazaar will deliver it at your doorstep. So that's the concept. It's been the pilot has been good, and we hope and we wish them all the best for their pan-India launch now. Do you want to add anything here in this?
I think to me this is a very, very exciting concept. I think the whole thought behind it is very exciting, and I'd like to share with you. So the Kishorji's view about this business is that Big Bazaar as a brand reaches 40 crore people today. It's between 35 to 40 crore people through their offline retail channel. Their understanding is this will take them to 80 crores. So they are saying, how do I extend my reach without putting significant investment and overcoming the challenge of real estate / infrastructure in those kind of environments where I can do it, and which sounds very, very exciting. Second, he says that those kind of deals which we get in Big Bazaar are not available in the country from 41 crores to whatever 80, 90. I think beyond that is difficult because it's really rural, and so that seems extremely exciting. To me, this business potentially has 3 challenges. One is, would people look at a catalog on a tablet and buy? Second, would franchise make money? And third is, would Big Bazaar Direct make money in that respect? So I think the third one is for them to tackle. The first one is surely ratified because when we saw the whole Nagpur this thing, people are very comfortable buying if there is somebody whom they trust is in between. So there is a Sharma ji in between which people know, and they're easily, Sharma ji, aap dekh lenge, and it's fine. They just buy it. So, and I think that's the power. The second is there's a power of entrepreneur in between, where they're saying here is a smart, sharp person who will figure his way out through this thing. He's used to selling. He's a trader. He's a grocer. He's whatever. He's a small-time guy who's making this. So those two assumptions surely looked to be true. Second assumption, which as a business they have, is would the franchise make money? So I think to me that's an easier part handled by giving him a geography area, giving him assistance so that, let's say, it justifies and becomes his primary business, so he continues to do that business. Third one is a supply chain, and I think let's leave it to the business to figure out as to how would they make money, because it's a distribution nightmare, and how would they do it. But it sounded very exciting. It's leading in a large direction. I don't know, you've been seeing cover page ads. The whole response to request for franchisees has been tremendous.
So I think I would like to add over there. Actually, Samar only told me if you're starting a retail business, you need to have either of these three value propositions, right? So it has to be either price, it has to be either availability, or it has to be convenience. So what Samar just mentioned is the availability. So as of today, Big Bazaar reaches an audience of 35 crores or 40 crores, and this is going to be their platform to reach the next 35 crores. I think I think the other value proposition that this business model puts on the table is also convenience. So I don't know how many of you actually spend half of your Sunday grocery shopping with your wives. We get only one weekend or one day off in the entire week, and half of the day is actually spent in grocery shopping. I personally don't enjoy standing in the queue or in the line. I would rather prefer waiting for 3 days for this grocery to arrive at my place. I'll order it in advance. But I would actually prefer, even if the D-Mart or the Big Bazaar is like just a kilometer away, I would actually prefer giving them the cash and they delivering it to my house. The other interesting things that the franchisees have started doing is they've started taking multiple tablets, and the way it happens is that the wife ends up calling the franchisee or the saying that, why don't you send the tablet up or send it to my home, right? And she, at the convenience of her home, is like shopping online. She goes through the tablet, he's waiting at the door, or he leaves the tablet there for a little while, and she purchases all those stuff at the convenience of her home. So it's a very interesting angle which the entrepreneurs put on the table, which even the businesses didn't think of. So putting again when you highlighted trust, we actually saw that people buying Canvas phones, the Canvas 4 was just launched, Canvas HD was just launched when we were doing the pilot, and people buying this 10,000, 11,000 rupee phone on that platform. So some resisted, some bought immediately, and we saw that entrepreneurs are thinking very innovatively. So some of them ended up taking 2,000 rupees advance, and they said, you know what, give me the 9,000 rupee later after the delivery, and I'll enter my delivery address here. So the phone will come to me, you just pay me 2,000 or 1,000 rupees as a commitment, right? And when the phone comes to my place, you pay the remaining 9,000 and take it home. So that's again a very interesting model where they're taking a bit of the risk on their shoulders. And I don't think next time or after the next 2 times he's going to hesitate paying the full amount and getting the delivery at his place. So moving on to the next one, which is hybrid franchisees. So Gitanjali has a very interesting concept, which we'll be again discussing it in the second half of our session today, which is hybrid franchisees in the meaning that franchisees are usually expected to have stock, and in the case of digital franchisees like Big Bazaar Direct, they have no stock at all. So we are talking about a hybrid model here, where the e-franchisee model is something like you have a suitcase where you have a limited inventory, which is like which you get with a 5 lakh rupee investment, and the suitcase has a placeholder for a tablet. So when ladies are actually in kitty parties and all, you can just open. You can just exhibit the inventory that you have. People can actually select, buy some over there, and if they want more options, you can just remove the tablet and then start showing them more options. Because you may not carry all sizes in that small suitcase, you may not carry all options, but basically they understand, okay, this quality product milega mujhe, right? So that stock helps them get that confidence, help them get that touch and feel, and finally they can buy online, transact online. The next one is Myntra. So Myntra customers can now pay by card on delivery. This is absolutely critical for high delivery or high ticket items. So if you see that, as I've said before, that if I'm buying a phone which is 40,000 rupees online and from a new website called Shop 16, I don't think I'll be comfortable paying upfront, right? I'll not pay prepaid. But at the same time, if I'm buying a 40,000 rupee phone, I would want the option to swipe the card when this guy comes to my doorstep. So that is again one way of them using this system to enable card on delivery. So it's a very small attachment which goes inside your tablet. I'm not sure how many of you are aware of it, but it's an extension which goes in the tablet using which you can actually swipe your card then and there. In fact, RBI is now coming up with the rule that you need to enter your PIN every time you swipe your card. So I think all retailers will eventually have to adopt this solution because it's very inconvenient to call the customer behind your counter and ask him to enter this PIN, right? So eventually you will have to come with a tablet POS where you actually give the tablet to him and say, okay, I've swiped your card, just enter your PIN here. Some of the restaurants have already started doing this. So I recently went to BBC in Goregaon, and the menus are all on the tablet, so they don't have physical menus, right? So you can actually, and at the time of payment, they will just they can actually swipe your card, and you need to enter the PIN over there. This also avoids the hassle of maintaining those digital signage receipts, right? So you don't need to sign them. It's a digital signature, so you sign on the tablet itself, and it's maintained digitally with you. The next one is insurance premium collection. So Reliance has already started enabling or empowering their fleet on street by giving them this small phone, which helps you customize your premium, calculate your premium, and finally help you select the right financial product for you, and then finally transact. Of course, they also give you that extension of swiping the card.
I think this is, Max, we wanted to highlight saying we realize the power of the tablet and how in different facets of businesses it's going through. I think we'll discuss the Big Bazaar Direct and the Gitanjali in the use case part of our presentation. I think this entire business requires a very strong infrastructure to run this entire business, and that's where we'll get the Amazon team in place because we've been using their cloud to run all these technologies to highlight as to what kind of infrastructure it takes to run this and what are the benefits of this. Handing over to you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good noon, everyone. My name is Parijat Mishra, and I work for Amazon. And I'm here to talk about the infrastructure, the IT infrastructure, which makes some of the things that we saw earlier in the day possible, right? And I wish to highlight to you why you need to pay attention to that and what kind of benefits you should expect from your IT infrastructure today. So without further ado, I shall start talking about Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services, as the name implies, comes out of Amazon.com's tradition. Amazon.com is, as you already probably know, is the e-commerce, e-retailer site, which started off selling books and now has diversified into many different portfolios. So what is an e-retailing company, e-commerce company doing in IT infrastructure? Isn't that for the folks who sell hardware and software? So that's an interesting story by itself. Amazon.com, when it started creating its web store, wanted to onboard merchants and make it very easy for merchants to put up their merchandise, A, for sale on Amazon.com's website, and B, to be delivered to the end customer. Right? So when a customer makes a purchase, this thing should get delivered to the customer in a defined period of time and should get routed optimally. So you have to figure out where to pick up the goods from, where to deliver, what transport to take, so on and so forth. So over 10 years of experience since Amazon.com started in 1995, working with a lot of merchants, building a lot of internal technology to optimize costs, reduce the time to delivery, squeeze out cost benefits. Amazon.com realized that this internally developed technology could be shared with other people. There was a lot of demand for it. And after its initial forays into this space via, say, merchant.com, Amazon.com realized that there's a lot of demand for these services, and they started Amazon Web Services. And it started off with a simple mission: enable businesses and developers to use web services to build scalable and sophisticated applications. And it's called Amazon Web Services because the term cloud wasn't invented then, right? So today, it's come a long way. It's powering the most popular internet businesses, e-commerce websites, end-user B2C portals, social media. In fact, all kinds of internet-based applications, they're running on Amazon Web Services. And not just that, Amazon Web Services is trusted by large enterprises with huge number of internal users as well to run their business critical applications. And in India. There are quite a few well-known names in India are running at least some of their internal IT workloads on Amazon Web Services. How large is Amazon Web Services? In 2003, Amazon.com, the retail company, was already a $5 billion enterprise. It had close to 8,000 employees, and because it has always been a very technology-focused company, it had a whole lot of servers, a lot of IT infrastructure. That amount of IT infrastructure, the infrastructure required to support a $5 billion enterprise is added on average every day by Amazon Web Services, right? If somebody tells you that Amazon Web Services is just Amazon.com's excess capacity, then that's not true. Another metric, Amazon Web Services launched their first service, Simple Storage Service, or S3, all the way back in 2006. It's a service where you can store files, store data. It is storing north of 2 trillion objects of files in there. From 2006 to 2011, the number of objects grew to 1 trillion. In 2012 alone, it jumped from 1 trillion to 2 trillion. That is the kind of scale we are talking about here. It regularly handles 1.1 million transactions per second globally. Another example, a relatively new service, launched only in 2010, has already seen more than 5 million clusters being launched by end customers. Somebody in the world launches an elastic MapReduce cluster once every 5 seconds.